Drew,
Dr. Cox,
what's up, man?
not much. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm well, man. I'm actually I'm enjoying this time to like I don't say do nothing because I've been doing things, but like to like chill out a little bit, you know, because life
Well,
has been
didn't
hectic.
didn't you have your defense in the middle of all this?
Dude, this is funny. Literally the day like that, like the day everything shut down was like the day of my defense, and like I went to school for like 1 or 2 more days, and then it was like, all right. So I was like, wait. I mean, granted, people losing their lives, stuff like that. My family's safe, but like after I defended, it was like I could like kick my feet up and like chill out for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So like honestly, I'm like I have him, but like if I didn't have him, I would be like in heaven. I would be like absolutely like feet kicked up, just relaxing. But it's cool. It's cool. So like I say all that to say like it's like real chill, and I'm like enjoying like just chill time. How's it like in Alaska? Are there like not a lot of cases, or is it just like
Well, so we don't have a lot of cases, but it's because we don't have a lot of people. Like if
right?
you look at proportionally, but what we really worry about here is if it gets into the villages where you
Oh,
don't even have doctors. Like you've got like a couple hundred people with like a physician's assistant or a nurse or just some minimally trained person. And if it gets in there, like it'll just start going around because folks, they're right at the end of when they can move, because they can move a lot more in the wintertime.
right.
Like you can go on a snowmobile from village to village to village, where in the summer you can't. So this is still the time of year when they can move around, and it's like the rivers are a highway system. And so if it gets out into some of these remote areas, there's no way to get it out,
There's
like until
nothing.
people just start dying.
Oh
Um,
man.
like it's scary. Like I think we'll be like, if they're smart, and I don't have full confidence that our governor is smart. Um, but even though, given like our libertarian bent up here, like we're very don't tread on me
Right.
kind of state. Even with knowing that, like our governor locked us down pretty early. Like there's a ban on intrastate. Like you can't move in state. You can't move out of state. If you come from outside, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. There's a $10,000 fine if they catch you. Not that they're going to catch you, but like still, that's $10,000.
I don't
But
want to
you
risk.
would be interested to note there is an exception to the intra-state travel ban, and it's to go fishing.
Well, I mean, people live off fish. I mean, yeah, like that is hilarious.
They had an announcement that you can still go fishing as long as you don't buy food you don't stop in other towns. Like
Right. So
just
you can't
keep
like go to like the
driving.
pub or restaurant and like yeah. As long as you do that, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know. This everything is so topsy turvy, and then we've got this film that we're doing, and it was supposed to be touring with the Wild and Scenic Film Festival right now, which obviously is canceled. And so we're like, oh shit, what do we do? So we're taking it online, and then I had no idea what all goes into planning an online event. Like I don't know. I'm just some dude who works in the woods. Like I don't know. And so the last week has just been all consumed with like writing captions for people and making trailers and like all
Yeah.
this stuff that I never even thought about before I
Oh my
did
gosh. I
this.
mean, dude, I was thinking what's gonna happen with I mean, hopefully things slow down by like June, but like what's gonna happen with the bear viewing season? Is it like because people come from all over?
Yeah. It's this double edged where you like I want to run my business. I want to like
Yeah.
go see bears, but I don't want to put my community at risk by bringing a bunch of people in from all over who like that's just going to guarantee that it gets here, and then that spirals out. Then it gets to the villages. Then it's just like it's uncharted territory.
Right.
Uncharted territory.
Sheesh, man. Wow, that's crazy. So what I just wanted to get some stuff. I wasn't gonna use it on my Instagram, but what's the film about? Like what is it like the premise of the film or like, I mean I know it's like about Pebble Mine and the Bears, but like what's your take on the film?
Well, so it started last year because you've been to McNeil River, and McNeil bears are special. They're protected, but my point in this whole argument has been McNeil bears aren't just McNeil bears. They move around. Like I take pictures of McNeil bears 60 miles to the west. Same bears. I know it's the same bears because I match up the scars and everything. And so those bears, and then you put a road, you put an industrial port, you put everything right in the middle of their habitat. Like it messes everything up.
Yeah.
And the Army Corps of Engineers and Pebble Partnership have said, we only need to study bears 3 miles from the impacted area. Well, that makes no sense because these bears move around so much. You're not representing your impacts to the population by just studying 3 miles from where they go. So we went out to the actual port site, like the place that is slated to be destroyed by the road, the power plant, the port. So we went to that exact spot, and frankly, this whole film, it's like a 15-minute film about how bears will be impacted by, and Cook Inlet, like the whole ecosystem, because Bristol Bay on the other side of the mountains has gotten so much press. Like everybody knows about Bristol Bay and Pebble Mine, but Cook Inlet's ready to get destroyed too. It's kind of like you're sitting on the sideline saying, well, we're going to get destroyed too, like yikes. And so the film is basically, here's the inside scoop on it. It's 15 minutes, but it really is just eye candy to get people to attend this webinar that I'm giving, where I'll be talking about bears and what I need everybody to do. And it's hard during a pandemic because everybody's focused on the pandemic. But while we're all worried about life and how to make money and like, are we going to survive? Is this going to get into the villages? The Army Corps is still plugging away on this project. Like they announced that this is a pandemic is not going to stop their process. And so what we want to do is we want to have people from all walks of life, from all the states, write into their federal representatives, senators and representatives, to put pressure on the Army Corps of Engineers to suspend the process. Like if they just wait 4 or 5 months and do it then, like don't do it in the middle, because what's happening is they opened up a comment period where it was the only time that the natives out in Bristol Bay, it was the last time the natives in Bristol Bay were going to get to comment on the project.
Right.
So the Bristol Bay folks are worried about their fishing seasons shutting down. They're worried about, disease getting to the villages. They're worried about life and how they're going to make it.
Right.
And they can't devote time from that towards fighting this mine. That copper's not going anywhere, right? It's not evaporating.
Right.
Like what's the problem with just waiting a few months to see how this plays out? Like it's not doing, and Pebble's not doing themselves any credit. Like they said, we want the best process. We want transparent process. We want this, we want that. We want to be above board. Well, they're not doing it. They're pushing this through because one dude, the CEO of Pebble, gets $12 million bonus if this goes through. And so right now he's pushing it because he thinks he can get it through while everybody's distracted.
Yeah, everyone's here. And it's just like, oh, man.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
You would think that they would even have some decency, like, just like human, like, the world is like on fire right now. Literally the entire world, man.
Yeah, it's kind of disheartening. But then, like, the fact that you and I are even talking, like, people are, this pandemic in some weird, messed up way is bringing people together. Dude, to look at stuff like this.
Yeah, it's so weird. Even just like my family, like we, time has passed and we've become a little disjointed, but like we've been doing like these family Zoom meetings like once a week, and I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, I talked to my like family more during the pandemic than like in regular life, because in regular life you go about your bills, your list of life, there's fishing and the things like but now it's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world, let me like check in with my family once a week, so you're right.
Yeah.
It's like bringing us together, man. Go ahead.
Where do you live?
I live in New Jersey.
That's what I thought. And so is your family all over, or where are they?
Most of my core is in New Jersey in this town called Plainfield, but I have like some like second cousins in like the Midwest and Indianapolis and down south. But everyone's pretty much affected. I mean, Jersey's the worst, like in terms of like numbers of people who have it and things like that. So we're pretty much on lockdown. Like I won't even visit my mom, just because she's a little bit older and I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we're like at least we're like trying to like follow the guidelines like to the utmost, you know.
Yeah. So like for me, there's still a bit of a disconnect. Like I don't know anybody who has it.
Oh wow.
Like my family in Iowa, they've been isolated, and Iowa doesn't have it so bad. Like I don't know of anybody. Like, do you know people who
Oh
have it?
dude, no, 100%. Like in the East Coast, Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, like my childhood best friend, like his cousin, like I actually know people who like lost their lives to it. Like that's how it is, how it's like ravishing like the East Coast. Like they say New York is like the hub. Like one of my friends unfortunately just buried his mother-in-law, and yeah, like so like people have it, and then people. There's the thing is, it's like the news is so grim. There's like a lot of people who have had it and recovered. Like I know people who like, oh, like I had it, like I had like the night cold sweats, a fever for a few days, and I like bounced back. Like got tested and positive and everything like that. But unfortunately, it's those people who have like the like health issues, who like maybe a little bit older. I mean, there's some young people dying too, but like it's really affecting the people who have like asthma or like chest things going on, stuff like that. But no, you live in Jersey or New York, you know people who like have had it and survived, or unfortunately had it and not survived. So
Wow.
yeah, like I was supposed to go. Like my wife like was like, oh, go ahead for like a graduation gift. I was supposed to go to Minnesota to the Boundary Waters, and like canoe, like a solo canoe trip, like fishing, and but I like they're saying that they're gonna be open, but I don't know if I want to go, because like they're saying like the hospitals there, they don't have the infrastructure just like these villages to like if a bunch of people get it. So I'm like, if I'm asymptomatic and I go there and I like give it to someone, and then like I might just like stay home. I'll go later. You know what I mean?
Bank it.
Yeah,
Bank
like
it.
I'm
Save
banking
it.
it. I'm banking it. Like the problem is, I'm like, when my son gets older, my wife might not sign off for like a week-long trip. She's like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like going to this place. I don't know if you ever heard of the Vince Shoot Wildlife Sanctuary. It's like black bears.
Yeah.
I like paid to do like this little photo session. You could like be on the ground level and the bears just like walk around you, and like I'm like pumped about it. I'm like, yes. And then this happened, and I'm like, I was like, I'll hold up. I just emailed them the other day, said we have your money, like come whenever it works for you. They said like just come, so it's cool. So we'll see, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely a serious thing, man.
Well, that kind of speaks to one of the concepts we're trying to hit on this video thing, or this premiere, is the save it now, watch it later kind of thing. Like, I don't know, there's just so much shady stuff going on that you're like, wow, how else is this world going to change? Like they suspended all the environmental regulations. They're just like, in the name of the pandemic. Yeah. Can people fish in New Jersey?
No.
Well, no, you're just locked down.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like weird. Like the state parks are shut down. So like I fished this river, Delaware River. It's shut down. And then like local parks and all. Like I have one place that I can go to that's like not really a park. You gotta like drive off the side of the road. You know what I mean? But to me, it's like, wow, I'm not even gonna like chance it. But everything is like shut down. Like you can't, just nothing. Like a bunch of which makes sense, like a bunch of charter boats, like guide boats. Like I'll like call a guy up, give him like $100, $200. Like I'll take me out. All that's shut down. Yeah, man.
Wow.
So
wow.
Can't even get outside.
Well, I don't know what's next. Are they like I don't know. We just get the news, but it sounds like things are at least leveling off.
That's what they think.
Maybe.
Yeah. They think so. It seems as if like the summer will be a little bit better because there will be like less stress on the hospitals. And like Rutgers, I went to Rutgers for undergrad. They just developed a saliva test that's supposed to be like, I won't say instant, but like a lot better than what they have now. and the goal will be soon to like mass produce that and like get it to different places. So like if Drew has it, we can get Drew in the hospital and self quarantine for 14 days before you like travel and like see people and so that's the trick. And I think in a few months we'll be closer to that than we are now. I had just one last question before we get off. What role did you play in the film? Did you did you shoot footage and like put it? Did you edit it? Did you like what role did you like? I mean, I know you wear like 15 hats. You're like a bear guy, but you like the gate. I call you the gatekeeper. Like all my friends like you always talk about bears. I'm like, you need to talk to this guy Drew. He's the gatekeeper of Alaskan brown bears.
So I did wear a lot of hats on this. It was my buddy Brandon's idea, and he's the one that wrote for the grants and things like that. But then I guess I'm an actor, not an actor. I'm playing myself.
Yeah.
But it's a bunch of it is an interview with me and us walking around, and like I give them a tour of the port site, and like it's us sitting there watching this bear. It was kind of weird because we did it last summer, and we went to a Mactadori specifically when there should have been the most bears there, but the run times were all off last year. So because it was so hot, the runs happened early, and so by the time we got there, like it looked like it'd been a bear dance party. Like it was just like like tracks, wolves.
Yeah, like
but there was only one bear there, but we watched him for 4 days, and so it's basically us sitting there. Like there's this one cool time lapse scene where we watch him like walking around all over the place, and we got him like playing with logs, and
nice.
So it's footage of this bear, me describing the bear behavior, me talking about the project, and then there's a woman from one of the villages who talks about what the salmon and the ecosystem means to villagers who have lived there for 10,000 years, and then there's a description of the actual project. Like that's one of the things that I think gets lost. Something is the scale of it. In that, it says, "Oh, it's just this little mine," but it's a 200-mile gap they're talking about putting in. And then, like this mine, if you took all mines in Alaska and put them all in the same spot, this mine would be 8 times bigger. There's nothing like this on Earth. This is unprecedented scale on Earth. Like,
dude,
mind-blowing. Yeah, and so I'm in it. I was also